Do you look down on people who use TurboTax?
No.
Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show. Welcome to Tosh Show. Dan Tosh in the driver's seat. Got Ed Gossling over there.
What's up there, Daniel?
Oh, man.
Woo-hoo.
Just trying to control this sweet rig.
Hey, keep it on the road, Daniel.
Oh, man. I am depleted from Valentine's Day. My goodness. My wife was all over me.
Oh, man.
I got her a box of chocolate
Uh-huh.
and some roses.
Wait.
And she couldn't have been more horned up. No, I didn't do that. We went and got massages. Did a couples massage in the morning, early morning. It was nice. That was it. What'd you guys do?
Yeah, same thing. I got some massages. And
You didn't do that. Did you go out for Valentine's Day?
yeah, we went to a wrestling tournament.
All right, so you did nothing for Valentine's Day.
Chocolate-covered strawberries.
Did you get her those for real?
Yeah,
No, you didn't.
I did. Well, they're delicious.
They're disgusting.
Hand-dipped strawberries and chocolate.
You went to that fucking stupid store where flowers are fruit? What's that called?
Edible arrangement?
You went to Edible Arrangements?
No, I didn't go to Edible.
Eddie and I used to have this bit where we would go to Edible Arrangements. We would order like a $100 bouquet. And then when they were boxing up, we're like, no, we're going to eat here. and we just sit down in the front there. There's not like a table, but we just start eating the bouquet. And we just eat as much as we could. And they would act like, oh, yeah, no, some people do that.
Completely normal behavior.
Without jobs, we're people's worst nightmares.
Pete, did you do anything for Valentine's Day?
We had fondue at the house.
At the house. Guess what, Pete?
Fondue.
We did fondue at the house, too.
Oh, my.
We did that night with the kids. That was their part. We did fondue with the kids. About you, John, did you do anything with your wife?
Yeah, we got a cake. Kids are into cake right now, so any cake arrangement that can be made, we make sure to do it.
Wait, so you just fucking you made a cake or you just bought a cake?
No. We bought a Valentine's Day cake and we.
What kind of cake is Valentine's Day cake? Did you go red velvet?
Red velvet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was sticking my nose up at your tradition. You could have gone cherry chip.
I would not call this a tradition. We just.
You ever tried cherry chip?
I have not.
Try cherry chip for the kids. It's a Duncan Hines box. I don't know if they still make it or not.
Right.
I think it might have been replaced by the sprinkles cake, but they used to do cherry chip. I used to like that one. Dylan, did you do anything for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, watched Pride and Prejudice for the first time. For me.
For me.
In love.
For me.
In love.
I mean, I just tell you, I couldn't have been happier with Valentine's Day. I got away with not buying anything though. That was I wasn't gonna get. I'm not gonna buy you flowers right now. That's so dumb. Why am I buying flowers for Valentine's Day when every week at the farmer's market we buy flowers?
Right. Way better flowers.
The house has flowers in it. The flowers are expensive too. I know eggs, the price has dropped ever since Trump took over, but flowers, I need him to fix that next. Now that he's got eggs, but I'm teasing about are eggs cheap? Or are they still expensive?
No, really expensive.
Oh, they're really expensive. Oh, I can't believe that hasn't been fixed yet. Well, at least he got the wall done. You know what time of the year it is now. Now that Valentine's is done, it's time for tax time.
Ugh.
Tax time. Gotta get ready for the taxes. How can you live in California with those taxes? I love going on. This is my new favorite thing to kind of poke the bear, is ranting on how much I love California. To the listeners that don't love California. By the way, have you spent real time in California, people that constantly shit on it? Because I've spent real time in your horrible towns. I've toured for 30 years. I was born in a different country. My parents traveled constantly. I moved 15 times before I was in high school. I know the other places. I'm saying you should give my opinion a little bit more weight. I've been poor in California. I've been rich in California. Okay? Oh, but the wildfires and the earthquakes, just so expensive. The housing, you can't buy a house. It's just through the roof. That's why everyone's leaving to Florida. Okay, but don't say Florida's better. Florida's awful. I've lived there, and they have to have no income tax to entice people to live there. Mm-hmm. Imagine if Florida was so expensive, like they had huge taxes. You think people would be going there? No. But California, the most the most populated state by a mile, and it's expensive. I wonder why. Maybe what my father told me as a child actually is true. You get what you pay for. Oh, there's no income tax in Florida. This is too good to be true. Oh, you're right. It is, because there's also hurricanes and red tide. You ever dealt with red tide? I remember that as a kid. I couldn't go outside for 2 weeks without just choking on the air. Oh, let's not forget no-see-ums. That's always fun. How about the fact that the entire state is a swamp and every puddle has an alligator in it? But there's no tax. Did I mention the pollen? Oh, the pollen in Florida. It's lovely. It's on Zyrtec every day of my life. You get what you pay for, okay? California's great. It's expensive. Well, yeah, it's because it's great, right? Florida's garbage, and there's no income tax. Oh, huh.
Kind of makes sense when you lay it out like that.
It's all adding up.
Yeah, listen, guys, I can talk taxes all day long. That's why I'm excited for today's guest. Enjoy. Tosh Show. My guest today knows every Excel shortcut there is, so make sure you've got all your 1099s and W-2s in order as we kick off tax season. Now, if you haven't turned the show off yet out of boredom, then please welcome my producer's accountant, John.
Hi, how are you doing, Daniel?
John, I'm doing good, and thank you for being here. We'll get into the accounting stuff later, because the other stuff is way more interesting to me. Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
But I would say more spirits. I wouldn't call them ghosts.
I don't know if I want my accountant believing in any of this stuff. I want him by the books the whole way. Growing up in Torrance, what was that like?
It was pretty interesting. Got to see a lot of changes.
Do you still live in the area?
Yeah, still live in the area. Not in Torrance, but Redondo Beach.
Do you consider Torrance South Bay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't. I always feel like they've glommed on. They get that tiny little sliver that hits the water, and they say that there's South Bay, but I'm like...
Well, there's the beach cities, and then there's South Bay.
Okay. By the way, growing up in Torrance, middle class, you did not tons of wealth? No,
it's really interesting. I would say at one point upper middle class, because when I was younger, I had a chance to race motocross, and I think pretty much all my dad's extra money went towards allowing me to go racing. And he was a general contractor, framing contractor, and then he decided he wanted to do that anymore. He just decided he wanted to be a craftsman and just have his own private shop and do small projects. And we pivoted. I remember he said, listen, we can't go racing anymore. Got me an Apple II computer and a surfboard and said, hey, figure out how to use this thing to play video games.
By the way, it's very dangerous. Did you ever have any near-death experiences on that bike?
I had a couple experiences, yeah.
Just racing, or did you do any of that freestyle stuff in the air?
No freestyle stuff. So I pretty much rode motocross when I was from 7 years old to almost 12, and really excelled at the age 7 to 11-year-olds in the 80cc expert mini categories.
I don't know anything about that world other than it was probably exciting.
Just think of it as like junior motocrossers.
Do you ever BMX?
Oh, yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Do you love the movie Rad?
Yes, that was good.
It's the right answer. When did you start surfing?
Oh, God, about 12 years old.
Yeah. And where was the first place you surfed?
Avenue Y in Redondo.
That was in the 80s?
Early 80s.
Cold, and wetsuits were horrible. Did you have a wetsuit?
Yeah, no. Oh, my dad surfed with my older brother, and they were surfing in the late 70s. Mm-hmm. Jerry Lopez was great and fantastic. I remember my dad tried to get me on a surfboard at Doheny Beach, trying to get out there and having fun, but I didn't have a wetsuit. It was cold. It was
brutal.
Freezing cold. And then I got a wetsuit and got a boogie board, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I remember my first really good ride.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Halama Beach Park.
Okay.
In the summer. It was great.
I grew up surfing, and I've surfed throughout the world and never had a bad experience, that I couldn't handle. The only place in my life that I've ever been taken out of the water physically and told not was Redondo Breakwater.
That's funny.
Isn't that crazy?
That is funny. Yeah, it's crazy. That is crazy.
Those guys were and it was just two of them out, and I went out, and they were like,
they said, nope, you're not going out.
They started dropping in on me, and then they literally ushered me to my car and you tell you and your homies never to come here. And I'm like, oh, I just moved here from Florida. I don't have any homies.
Was it a really big day or a medium, small day?
Head high.
Okay, that's probably why. Interesting. Yeah, if it's big, they'll let you go out.
Well, you know what? I never went back because I was like, you know what? I don't care about your garbage wave.
It's it's a great wave when it's like this last winter in the around December. It was fantastic, phenomenal.
Is it? Nah,
Yeah.
it seems to
But
pinch and close
it's
out a
gotta
bunch.
but it's got to be huge. Like
Okay.
huge, like dangerously big.
I didn't like it and I didn't care. And I was like, whatever, you guys, idiots, enjoy your shitty wave. People are so mean. That's the problem with surfing. I've always thought that about surfing. I've loved everything about surfing except the surfers. I'm like, why do you guys have to act like this? The vibes are always bother me. Anyway, not every place. Did you see the transformation of like Laduna Bay turn into what it is? Or was it always like that? The Palos Verdes, the locals that like wouldn't allow anyone to ever surf their wave.
It's always been like that.
Did you ever surf it?
I have a special spot I don't disclose that's kind of on the south side of Lanada Bay. Haggerty's Point's really good.
Haggerty's is great.
Oh, yeah.
I've surfed Haggerty's just almost perfect.
Oh, yeah. And what was the fun part is night surfing at Hags.
No, I don't enjoy that. What's your favorite surf spot that you've surfed in the entire planet?
Punta Roca at La Libertad in El Salvador. Best wave I've ever got.
Right or left?
It's all right.
Point break?
Point break. It's better than Rincon and more consistent.
Well, sure.
And
Rincon's not consistent.
Yeah, it's one of the
And
best.
warm. And
very
warm.
very warm. Yeah.
Who doesn't love a warm right point
No,
break?
when I was really being into surfing in my 30s, I was going to El Salvador. I think we went like 8 times.
You ever have any scary experiences while traveling abroad for surfing? You're like, uh-oh, put ourselves in a bad situation here.
Oh yeah, so I got a good story. So we're in El Salvador, and we were coming back. We had a big we had like a Nissan pickup. All of a sudden, we come to it was like a makeshift roadblock.
Yes, I've been there.
And this was not an official roadblock.
Nope.
This was just a bunch of guys with M16s that looked like teenagers.
Okay.
We got really nervous and started sweating. All of a sudden, they stopped the truck, get out, and started talking to us and all this stuff. And all they wanted was a ride into town to see if they could take a couple extra guys. And then we were just like, oh my God, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Jump in the back of the truck. So then we got a ride into town with 3 military guys with M16s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been in a few places where they've had the makeshift roadblock, where it's just a chain dragged across the road. You have to stop. And then I, in my broken Spanish, just like open my wallet and like say, like, "Ooh, does 20 make that chain go away?" And usually it does. And then I'm like on my way and I'm like, hey, and then everybody's good. But you're always like, but I don't mess around with.
So
like,
was this in Baja, California?
I've done a few of those encounters in Mexico. Yeah.
See, I wouldn't go to Baja, California anymore. After 40 years old, I said, no way.
I brought my family last year.
But I can tell you, but the other thing is Mexico, we spent a lot of time in the mainland Mexico, like Mexico City, all the major cities, Monterrey. Beautiful country, beautiful city.
I know.
Like super nice, the best food in the world. It's really
Agree.
good. Yeah.
I love everything about it. I think, I'm excited for when it becomes part of America.
Well, they got to change the Gulf, right? I don't know how they're going to feel about that.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll love it. You still surf or no? You got injured.
Little bit.
You old man surf now?
Old man surf now.
Do you do like old man, like rich travel boat trips?
No, I wish if I would have, but I had a ankle injury when doing motocross. So that's my other passion, motocross and motorsports.
And accounting.
Yeah.
The Trinity.
How did you get into accounting?
Oh God, I was really good at computers,
Uh-huh.
and nobody knew how to use computers that well in accounting. And I said, "Oh my God, this is great! I know how to do this." So it was kind of like early '90s, and I don't want to be a computer programmer. I thought, "Oh my God, that's just well you tell. I might as well become an accountant."
And the rest is history.
Actually, when I went to business school, I saw a really great opportunity, kind of the shifting towards using technology to really speed things up and be efficient, and just latched onto that and used the skills that I had in technology and computers and just applied it to accounting and never looked back.
By the way, you went to Loyola Marymount, you grew up in Torrance, and then you transferred to Cal State Long Beach. Have you ever been outside of your 30-mile zone?
Oh, yeah. So I had the opportunity to go to Indonesia, and I was working for a nice guy at a Palos Verdes while I was in college. And he sent me, it was a job opportunity, and I learned I was going to be near Bali. And I said, I'll go if I can take 3 weeks off after the project.
How long was the project?
Oh, the project was like 2-3 weeks, and I got to spend a month in Indonesia, surfed a place called Groningen, G-Land.
Oh, yeah.
And lived in Bali for 2-3 months.
I mean, that's amazing.
Oh, it was amazing.
And that's a better, because right now it's like, it's too crowded. And but then I'm guessing it was
it was
heaven.
phenomenal. What was funny is I had a job offer and the guys wanted me to stay. And I said, look, I got to go back and finish college.
You should have stayed. I think everything about you is cool, except the job. Is there anything cool about accounting?
Oh, yeah. So the funny thing is most of my time isn't doing really accounting. It's talking to people about their lives. It's sitting there just talking to them and asking them, hey, what happened this year? What's going on? What transactions did you have financially that impacted you?
Are you trying to beat the system at all times?
We try to push. We try to make sure that people don't pay any more taxes than they legally have to, but we want to keep them out of jail.
Well, you said the only person your father respected was his accountant. Now, I don't want to play like an armchair psychiatrist here, but does any part of you think that you got into this profession to gain your father's respect?
Oh, after the fact. Yeah.
Did you do your parents' taxes?
Yeah, after I started going to college and took a couple of classes in taxation, yeah.
And they let you see what they made. Because my dad, if I ever asked my father, even when I was older, how much do you make? Or hey, enough, none of your business. What are you, a cop? Those are the answers I got from my father.
Yeah, I'm a cop, Dad.
I would say I don't think that I had to really worry about that.
They're just my dad was so weird about it. And it's like my dad had like, a very middle class family. I always end up getting like years down the road money back because I've overpaid. And I talk to my accountants. I'm like, guys, why are we so conservative all the time that they're like, hey, you paid too much? And they're like, no, that's what we do. I'm terrified of jail, though. The idea of jail.
Yeah, no. I use that expression because I try to terrify clients. Because the main thing is we want to make sure that you don't get audited. You don't want the nasty letters from the IRS.
I've been audited twice.
Well, there you go. So you can.
But here's what I've learned. Tell me if this is true or false.
Yeah.
They used to say that audits were completely random. Then they realized that the IRS, it's wasting too much money auditing poor people. So they stopped that, and now they do audit just the wealthy.
Oh, no. On the contrary. They audit the wealthy, they audit people randomly, and they audit poor people.
Okay. But you are saying...
And I'm not going to say not poor people. What they do is they audit, let's say you're in the Malibu zip code. Mm-hmm. And then you show that you make $10,000 and you don't pay any taxes. Uh-huh. How is it that you can afford to live in Malibu or, in the beach communities and not pay any taxes?
I don't know. Ask Pierre.
Well, there you go. So what they do is they're looking for those people that, wait a sec, you got 2 houses, you got these cars, you got those, you got all these assets, and you live in a nice neighborhood, but you don't show that you have any income.
But then they also just randomly...
And then they randomly pick people, yeah.
I was surprised at the amount of time. It took a ton of time, and they didn't find anything, but then they started actually going like, oh, you took a jet to your show in Vegas. Was everybody that sat on that jet part of your job? It was just crazy how needling they were trying to get for me.
Well, that's their job.
No, it isn't. Bunch of jerks. Do you like to say something just isn't adding up? Or do you prefer fudge the numbers or cook the books?
I would say things don't add up. We need to fix this.
How many times,
something's not right here.
How many times have you been like this? Something just isn't adding up.
Yeah, it doesn't smell right. It doesn't pass the smell test.
How many shredders do you own at your office?
We don't really shred everything. We just collect it all and then we take it to the shredder every 2-3 months.
I just didn't know if you guys had like a system, like press a button. Guys, they're coming. Get rid of everything. This is what I want my accountant to be like. I want my accountant to be like, go. Is the IRS broken or no?
It could use some fixing.
What are some of the red flags the IRS is looking for when looking at someone's returns?
Disproportionate expenses. Somebody makes say they put down they made $10,000 a small project, and then they try to write off 50.
Oh man, I know that I send because I will spend almost every cent I make to travel places that I want to go to, and I'll come out even. That's fine.
But why are you traveling?
To go to the place, like a vacation that's paid for.
Yeah, but it's got to be business. It's got to be for business.
I'm traveling for business, but the only reason I will do a show some places is because it's a place that my family wants to go. Does that make sense?
No.
Stand-up comedy. That's all I do. So if I want to, my wife wants to go to Portugal, I'm going to do a show in Lisbon for the expats.
Oh, okay. Now, if you're doing the show there,
I am.
yeah, then okay, sure.
Right,
Then
but I'm
travel
saying
there.
all of the money that show makes, I spend 150% to do the trip. That's a red flag.
Well, it depends on your overall income.
The income's not there anymore. I'm just living off. I'm living off the
Yeah,
savings.
so the IRS is going to, if they did come talk to you and they say, Daniel, we need to speak to you, they're going to ask you, so how many days was it for business?
What, one night?
And how many days did you stay?
14.
Okay, then they're going to disallow it. You're in trouble.
You serious? This is bad. In 2025 in LA, is it better to rent or buy a home?
Rent.
Why is accounting so complicated and confusing in this country?
Oh, that's a great question. So it's because politicians write the laws, not accountants.
I mean, do you actually enjoy your job?
Yeah, I do enjoy my. The best part of my job, again, is the relationships and talking to clients and finding out what's going on and really kind of becoming part of people's family over years and years of doing their taxes.
How often are they changing the laws, the tax laws?
But every 2 years, but at least every new president.
Are things going to get great for us now, for us wealthy people?
I wouldn't say that.
Because California's going to get their taxes no matter what.
Well, you got two issues. You got California taxes, which is some of the highest taxes in the nation. Mm-hmm. You know, you get the combination of your state taxes and your federal taxes. It can be a lot.
If I have a property in, let's just say hypothetically, in Nevada, how much do I have to actually live there to stop paying California taxes?
Over 185 days.
And then I can pull out of California completely?
You have that has to be the place where you hang your hat. So you got to live there, hang your hat there, vote there, have a driver's license there, have your cars there, have your kids go to school there.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's the tough one. Yeah, that's the real tough one.
Ugh, you had me. I could pull off almost all of that until you said school.
Yeah.
You can't have your kids go to school in Carson City.
No.
Well, you could if you wanted to be gunslingers. Right?
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. How many social security numbers do you have the ability to sell on the dark web?
Oh, 0.
Oh, look at that. What's your favorite number?
8.
That's the dumbest question, and I'm glad you answered it. If we needed a way to drastically simplify the tax codes across the board, what would your pitch be?
Get rid of alternative minimum tax.
Okay, I don't even know what that means.
It's a complicated extra formula that accountants have to go through and figure out your tax returns and eliminate all your deductions and redo your taxes, and you have to pay a minimum tax.
So you want that eliminated?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Do you hate Ben Franklin for saying there's nothing certain except for death and taxes?
No.
Okay.
No, it's helped my business.
Well, how do income taxes work in other countries? Do they have a more simple system?
Actually, they do, but they also pay a lot more taxes. Believe it or not, the United States doesn't have that bad of taxes when you compare to Europe.
I've always just wrapped my head around I'm going to lose 50% of every dollar I make, and I'm kind of like okay with that.
That's a lot.
I know, but I'm okay with it. I'm like, if I can live off 50% of what every dollar I make, then I'm going to be okay. So that was kind of the goal.
Okay, you may want to talk to your accountant.
Nah, I don't want to talk to him.
Or maybe he doesn't talk to you. That's a problem.
It's just a long conversation. And then I have to pretend like I understand stuff, and I don't.
Take him surfing.
They don't surf. They're not those kind of accountants.
Charlie don't surf?
No, Charlie don't surf. Is there any new laws on the books this year that you're excited about?
There's going to be a lot of changes coming up.
Do you have to pass new tests when they change things, or just be familiar with the laws?
Actually, we got to have 40 hours of continuing education every single year.
Every year?
Every year.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
That alone would make me not want to be an accountant. Every year having to do 40 hours? How long does that take?
Well, sometimes
you break it up into like a month?
Oh, you get to do it all over the year, but now you get to travel for it too.
Oh, some nerd convention? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the nerd convention.
Oh, no. Where is this held?
Oh, they got them all over the United States. You can go to probably the best one that we used to go to was in the South Shore of Hawaii on Honolulu.
Oh, yeah, you guys are living it up.
Yeah, we try to.
That's pretty good.
I think I was able to sneak away during break and get a couple waves.
Do you look down on people who use TurboTax?
No.
Should people be
No,
able to?
but I kind of feel bad for them.
Uh-huh.
It's just because they just don't know. And they don't know what kind of trouble they're getting themselves into.
Nobody should do their own taxes?
God, nobody that makes some money.
What's the cutoff where it's like, okay, you need to hire a professional accountant to do your taxes at what income level?
I would say if you have the income level to afford a house, then you should be getting somebody to do your taxes.
Okay. That makes sense.
You got investments, you have stocks, you're starting to do rental properties. Things are starting to get a little more complicated.
Is your job basically to outsmart the IRS every year?
No, it's basically just helping clients so that they don't get in trouble.
How late can you actually file? I feel like I never file. I always get an extension every single year. Is that normal?
I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend filing on time.
I feel like every year they're like, yeah, no, you're extended.
But you're lucky this year.
Why?
Things changed. The government's giving relief to anybody in LA County.
Because of the fires?
Because of the fires.
Oh. What are these people? I mean, I'm guessing that you've experienced people that have had total losses before. I mean, what do they do?
There's going to be a lot of questions, a lot of challenges, because the IRS does let you write off losses if you're out of pocket. So if you're actually out of pocket money from the loss, you're going to be able to take that as tax write-offs.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of people with the Palisades fire and the Altadena fire. They're going to need help.
Where are you on taxing churches in this country? I'm a huge believer in any church that has over 100 people that go to it should be taxed. These mega churches where the snake oil salesman rolls around in a Bentley, I'm like, this is nonsense. You don't want to get yourself in trouble. I understand.
No, I'm gonna stay off that one.
I think the churches should be taxes. The Church of Scientology, that's just complete nonsense. No pastor should drive in anything nicer than a Honda Accord. That's what I say. That's my barometer, for if your church is making too much money. What about taxing crypto?
What about crypto?
Do you have any clients that are invested into crypto?
Yeah, I do. It's a challenge.
I mean, is it
real?
First question, is it real?
Is it real? Yeah, it's real.
I mean, do you understand it completely? Are you invested in crypto?
Yeah, I have some crypto.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. Billionaires, are they getting taxed heavily enough or no?
Yes.
Oh, brother.
See, people don't realize you're a homeowner and you probably have rental property. You pay all these property taxes. You don't think billionaires pay taxes? They just pay it in other forms. They pay it in payroll taxes. They pay it in property taxes. They're supporting the community with their infrastructure and giving jobs and doing a lot of different things. But it's interesting that when you talk about taxes, the problem is we got too much taxes at the low level, meaning why are we paying so much in gas? I went to Florida. I think it was like $2.30 a gallon. Mm-hmm. We make the gas here in California. We got Chevron, Mobil, Arco here, and it's like close to $5 a gallon. Why? It's the taxes.
Let me tell you something. If you want to spend more time driving around in Florida, all the power to you. As someone who is from there and has all their family there, I think the gas should be cheaper to encourage people to get the fuck out. Most places in the world, you buy a home and it's a good investment. And 30 years later, it's worth more. And that's not true in Florida all the time. Florida, you can buy a home and in 30 years, it's worth the exact same or less because they built a brand new subdivision just right next to it. And they're like, hey, let's just make these houses look completely shitty. And there's the new shiny subdivision. So, they have no income taxes, but there's some other taxes there that they have you on the hook for. Talk about some of the dumb things your clients have tried to write off that you're like, guys, this isn't going to fly.
Probably their dog.
What do you mean?
They're like, can I claim my dog as a dependent?
Oh, that sounds like Pete over there.
And I'm like, I don't think we're the right fit.
Do you drop clients?
Oh yeah, all the time.
You're like, this that won't work?
Oh, I try to drop. But every year I just go through the list and said, okay, who needs to go into probation and who should we just drop?
What about, aren't you so thankful the days of boxes of receipts are over?
We still get a few collections.
I can't imagine how stupid that is.
There's a story is I had a client come in, referral. She brought in 2 trash bags full of envelopes that had never been opened.
Oh, good. I love it.
So I gave it to my staff, opened all this stuff up. And also my staff's like, John, come here. I'm like, what? What's going on? She's like, is this right? I'm like, what? I said, I think this woman has $40 million.
Okay.
And I'm like, what? So I call a lady up. I'm like, do you have $40 million? She's like, I hope so.
She was testing you guys.
No, her husband passed away 2-3 years prior.
I know. She killed him.
And she just needed help. And so we got all our stuff, opened all the envelopes, went through all the paperwork, got her all sorted out.
Well, that's pretty. I guess you kept her as a client then.
Yeah, she was a pretty good client. It was the best part was just helping somebody out. And you just never know when you start digging through all the paperwork and getting people sorted out what you're going to find sometimes.
But usually now you just have clients that you've had for years and years and years. And so you're not digging through garbage bags for the most part.
No. But we still have what they call the shoebox clients that come in, and we still have really old school clients, and we still have cutting edge technology clients that wanted to send us everything, PDF and technology, and give it all to us.
Your son was born on tax day.
Yeah.
Did you plan that?
No, he was supposed to come the day after, actually.
I know your son heavily into kart racing.
Yeah.
Now, I was infatuated with that world as a child. I didn't get to race. I had a go-kart. I had go-karts, Briggs & Stratton, little, whatever my dad would get me, 5 horsepower. That was like the biggest engine I ever had. But I was good. I was good at racing it. Just, we'd go to little parks that had little racetracks. My brother, just horrible at it. Every time he got behind the wheel, almost certain death. It's just unbelievable how some people can race and some people can't race. Anyway, your kid now, apple doesn't fall far from the tree, racing. Is it terrifying watching him go?
Oh, no, but I got to tell you, always nervous on the first turn.
Okay.
Last weekend, he was in Orlando, Florida at the Orlando Kart Center. They had 42 drivers on the track at one time in the grid. When they go
How old is he, first of all?
He's only 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did he start?
Started at 7. We got him a go-kart on his 7th birthday.
When you were buying him these type of toys, there's no way that it was like, no, he should be doing this at this age. Like I always look at things, I have a 5-year-old and it's like, oh, this little Power Wheel says for 8 and up. And I'm like, he's fine. Let him go for it.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I told him when he was really young, maybe probably 3 or 4 years old, I said, hey, you learn how to ride a bicycle without training wheels. I'll get you a motorcycle.
What in the world? The greatest dad ever. You should be locked up. All right.
So we're camping in Mammoth, and he's got his bicycle training wheels. He says, Dad, take the training wheels off. I'm like, what? He takes training wheels off because it was getting stuck in the dirt, and he just starts riding his bike. So I said, okay. So about 6 months later, I got him a PW50 Yamaha, little motorcycle. Started riding that.
Did you tone it down or just let him have it?
I let him
as
have
is.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's PW50, great starter bike for somebody who wants to get into motorcycling. And he got a bigger bike about a year later, and he had a bit of an accident. So we went to the motocross track. He ended up going off the track, was going to run into a parked car, but slid under the car.
Okay, I guess that's a good instinct.
Well, yeah, it saved him. It scared the heck out of us. We, after a quick trip to the hospital, I think his mom's like, hey, can we get him something a little closer to the ground? Let's get him 4 wheels. So his mom's the one that really pushed to go to the go-karting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing that is a horrible, costly hobby that she regrets every day of her life now.
No, on the contrary,
Okay.
she's the one that's like kind of fanatical about it. She wants to go to Europe. She's like, he's going to F1.
Oh, it's the pageant mom, but for kart racing.
Yeah, it's like so. The funny thing, you think soccer moms are bad?
Yeah.
No. The kart moms are way more intense.
How do you get the cart there?
So we have a team, Nash Motorsports, that helps us out. And so when they set up, they have their own tent. It's a mobile shop. They all have anywhere from 5 to 15 drivers a weekend under their tent.
Okay. Is there pit stops during his races?
No, so it's an all-out sprint race. So what they'll do is they'll go on for final race will be about 20 laps, and they'll do about sometimes a little less than a minute or just over a minute a lap. I mean, their average lap time, average speed's around 48, 52 miles an hour.
Is he burning through tires?
Oh yeah, tires are crazy. race weekend or an event, maybe 4 sets of tires.
Does anyone else ever use his cart or no? That's his cart.
It's his cart. Yeah. Most people have their cart and then it's set up for their body and their size and their seats just for them.
What's the minimum investment to get a sticker on his helmet?
Oh, well, happy to talk to anybody. But right now we're
Okay. All right. I like where this is going.
Basically we're looking for marketing partnerships.
Okay.
So instead of sponsorships, we got a couple years, dad's doing okay. We're taking care of him, but he really needs the marketing partnerships to kind of get to the next level.
All right. Well, that I can't help you
Because
with.
he's going to be turning 12. He's racing 16-year-old kids. So he just stepped up to the bigger full-size karts. And any F1 driver, they all started here. This is what they did.
And is he good?
He's actually pretty good, yeah.
I mean, how can you tell if a kid is good or not?
When you come out and you're racing against all the kids in North America and you can place and put it up there, it's a challenge.
Does he have like trophies and stuff like that?
Oh, God, he has got room full of trophies.
Is his dream to be like a NASCAR racer or Formula One?
Formula One.
No, look at you. You got a classy family.
Well,
I appreciate
don't know
it.
about that.
And when do you squash his dream?
Probably when he's about 18 years old. Because 18, I'm the big believer that he's got to want it and he's got to put the effort into it.
Well, I watched that one movie where that guy that played video games became a real F1 racer.
Oh yeah, it was a great movie. Loved it.
Was it?
Oh, it's his favorite movie by far.
Well,
I
sure.
took it to him and he's like, oh my God, he loved it.
What about the one scene was a little tragic, when he almost died.
Oh yeah, that's part of the sport.
That's why I'm getting my kid into tennis, trying to force tennis on him.
So wait, you're not going to have your son surf?
I want my son to not be afraid of the ocean, and if he loves the ocean, that's a bonus, and he's going to be competent. I'm going to teach him how to surf. I teach him how to snowboard, all that stuff. Here's my problem with surfing that I always have. I've got a son and a daughter, but like surfing is the only sport, and I'm sure it's not, where a 10-year-old kid that can surf good is sitting in the lineup talking to a 50-year-old accountant, talking to a 20-year-old drug addict. Like it's a weird world where you're around and you hear conversations that you normally, if a kid is like into playing baseball, he's just around, his other little 10-year-old kids. I just, that mix of different people, it made me grow up a little too quick, I think.
I never had those conversations when I was 12 years old in the water.
Come on, you knew about drugs way before other people because of the surfers that you hung out with.
No, I knew drugs because I had an older brother. Come on. And I'm not going that road.
Right. Okay. But you understand my concern. It makes some sense. I've seen lineups where I'm like, when I see like a young kid in the water and I hear somebody talking, I'm like, hey, knucklehead, shut up. There's a child here.
I think, well, depending on how old your kid is, they're going to hear it. You're not going to be able to protect it. If he's 12 years old, he's hearing everything at school.
Okay, fine. What about when my daughter, let's just say she's 16 years old and she's got a great ass. And now she's paddling around, and you know what they paddle around in.
Just get her a full suit.
That's the thing.
All black full suit.
She's got to wear a full suit. If you want to surf, fine, but you have to wear a full suit every day, right? Because I'm not letting some creep old man paddle up behind you.
Right.
These are my concerns. By the way, everybody that's on the show gets a gift. I cannot wait to give you some gifts. Now, this is my first gift. This is from Bill Allen, the star of Rad.
Oh, nice.
That's the official double Blu-ray DVD. I don't even think you have a DVD player. No one does, but it's a special. I'm also giving you from Rad, autographed by Bill Allen, Crew Jones.
Oh my God, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Now, let me tell you something else that I was going to give you this today. He gave me the official T-shirt.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But I'm not giving it to you. I couldn't get rid of it.
You're going to keep it.
I'm going to keep it.
All right.
But I was like,
is that an extra small boys for you?
No. What are you talking about? I'm huge. He took a shot. John took a shot at me. That's fine. This is a Tosh Show hat that didn't get approved by our merch department. but you're gonna have it. You're gonna.
So I got the one the reject.
Yeah, we're not gonna
okay,
use that
got
one.
it. All right.
Okay, but here, get that off my desk. You're gonna love this.
Okay, I'll be
just throw all that on the floor.
I'll be sure to give that to somebody.
You give it to somebody. That
Oh.
was a nice gift. You ready for this gift?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if your son's gonna want this or if you're gonna need it for
Tickets to F1.
I can't wait to give this. This was like $300. Now, my wife's cousin bought me this for Christmas this year, and I was so mad at him. I was like, "Why would I want this?" And it's the same guy. Remember that time I had that little thing?
Is this Fuzi?
No, it says Coolio.
Oh, Coolio.
Coolio? I don't know. Not the rapper.
Okay,
Hold on.
got
Let
it,
me
yeah.
explain this to you. He first invented this chapstick holder cooler, and I thought, whatever. I use it. I like it. Fine. But now he invented this thing. This thing has like a battery charger for your phone, speaker place. It has like a built-in cooler. I go, you want me to walk around with a refrigerator on my back? I'm like, it's an appliance. This is an appliance. This backpack is $300. Never been used. Yeah, there's like, look, feel that. There's like a battery charger.
If I was a big tailgater, and
That's what I'm talking about, the kart racing.
but we don't do we can,
no, you're going to love it.
no, because I can't have any alcohol. So I can't even have alcohol on the grid.
John, this doesn't have to have alcohol. You can have sparkling water, okay? You're gonna love it. Your son's gonna love this. He's gonna think it's neat.
Wait, where's your producer? Can I give it to your executive producer?
No, this is a tax write-off for me to give away.
I got to regift.
You can't regift this.
I got to
By the
regift.
way, the size of this thing, you would think that the cooler portion is huge. By the way, it also floats. And it's waterproof.
So it's
Look
like
at that's the whole thing on the inside. Like just holds a 6-pack. He got me this, and he was mad at me immediately because I was like, I hate it.
It's a good zipper.
Yeah.
Oh, that zipper's so hard. Well, it's because it's waterproof.
Now I could see a purpose for this.
Good, John.
Not for me.
No, John, you're gonna give this to your.
I could think if I can,
You're gonna find a client that's gonna need this. Look at that thing. Why would he think I want to walk around with a refrigerator on my back?
I can tell you where. This is perfect for you.
No.
When you go surfing,
Stop, John.
and you get to spend the day at the
being
beach.
rude right now, John. I got you this gift.
You.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's a really wonderful
Hold
gift.
on.
That is one of the most interesting gifts I've ever received.
And the guy that gave it to me, his name is John, who also gave me these, and I don't want these either. Do you cook?
No,
You're gonna love this then.
I don't cook at all.
I hate the smell of vinegar. These are like these. They're all sealed. They're like flavored vinegar. You're supposed to add to while you're cooking. This one's red miso. This one looks like it's open. This one's turmeric vinegar. This one's black garlic vinegar.
So what did you get stuck with the white elephant gift?
What? No, I don't want these, John. But I just thought they would go with the cooler.
Well, thank you.
Because he bought me both of these things.
Let's stick it in the cooler, please.
No, they don't need to be cool. Here, just
Are you
take
sure?
those.
Okay, why don't I just...
You know who's going to want those?
I have no idea. What the... What is this?
John, it's somebody's business, okay? So don't shit on it.
It's all right. I'm not going to say anything. It's good.
Just take it home.
Thank you.
Do you discourage your clients from bad ideas like investing, or do you just let them do what they
Oh, God,
want?
no. I try to discourage them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many times I come up with ideas and I'm just like, they're like, well, if you think that's what you should do. And I'm like, guys, I need you to tell me to knock it off.
No, if it's a bad idea, I tell clients all the time.
Well, that's good.
So give me one of your ideas. What was one of your ideas that got kind of...
Bad ideas. I started a clothing line. That was a bad idea. Shouldn't have done that.
No. Did you have a restaurant ever?
No.
That's a tough business.
No. I'm always terrified of when I'm going to stop working and like lose my business managers because I'm like, I don't know how to do anything. And I think the system is set up for us to not know how to do anything so that we're dependent on outside sources.
I think it's just everybody should specialize on whatever they do, stick on what they do. Like, I don't go work on my cars anymore.
Yeah, but you could.
I could.
You can tinker.
I could tinker, but I'm not going to go work on cars. I'm an accountant.
You're an accountant. Do you say that when you're at the track yelling at your kids to cut somebody off?
No, but I told the other dads, like, I'm just accountant. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Have you ever gone to the F1 race in Vegas now?
No, I haven't done the F1. I haven't actually been. I've been to the IndyCar race in Long Beach.
Forget Indy, but that Vegas track that they set up on the street that goes down the strip.
Yeah, incredible.
That was, it was incredible, but the traffic that they created to create that course.
But it's worth it.
For who? Not for me. And then when I'm trying to
Well,
get
if
to
you're
my
a fan of F1,
trying
you'd
to get
love
to
it.
my casino gig, now I got to take a 45-minute ride that used to be a 5-minute ride.
You don't have a helicopter?
No. I don't have a helicopter. I need a helicopter.
Get these guys to get you a helicopter.
Yeah, that's what podcasts are for. Helicopter money. Is rubbin' racing? Is that still a term? Do people say
Yeah,
it?
it's a little turn.
Oh.
They side pod a little bit. Well,
Do they?
Yeah.
They oh. Is there drafting in kart racing?
There is. It's a big thing. Actually, if it's on a big long track, you need the draft. It might, if you get a draft behind somebody else, it might be 3/4. And you think, what's 0.4 of a second? Well, you take 0.4, and then all of a sudden you're doing 10 laps.
No. Here goes your math nerd stuff.
Yeah, then you're like then at the finish line, you're 4 seconds ahead of the guy.
That's pretty good.
Well, I'll just say, if anybody's interested about his racing or looking into stuff, it's John Racer.
You named him after Florence?
No,
Okay.
no, but I do like John Florence. He's a super cool guy. Everybody in our family is pretty much named John. I had a cousin named John Box, and when I was growing up, I called him John.
Mm-hmm.
Super nice guy. I loved him. And my dad's name's John. My name's John. And
The same with my father-in-law. It's so weird. He makes everyone in their family do John.
Yeah.
And the guy that gave you that cooler that you're gonna love, his name is John.
his name's John. Oh, his name's John.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Or just a bunch of John. It's weird that's the name that always gets passed on forever.
My mom called me John.
She did?
Yeah.
Well, you're a John too. All right, good stuff. All right, John. Thank you very much for being on the show.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Tosh Show. I want to thank John for filing all the taxes for the good, honest, definitely not cheating employees of Tosh Show. How are you filing, Carl? You got any dependents? No? All right. Let's plug away. We got the toshshowstore.com. You got Eddie's tour and my tour. We're adding shows. Hey, Carl, guess what? Going to Portugal. Yes, we are. Lisbon. I couldn't be more excited to see you. So please buy a ticket so my agent stops calling me every day saying, hey, have you learned Portuguese yet? And I'm like, I'm working on it. I think it's time to do our free plug. Hit the free plug music. Oh, little big band. Now, this week's free plug is for a retirement community called Watermere at Round Rock in Round Rock, Texas. You ever been to Round Rock?
I have.
Oh, outside of Dallas?
North of Austin.
North of Austin.
Yep.
That's Waco. Is it in between Waco and Austin?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got Waco, then you got Watermere, then you got Austin. So if you're in Austin, you want to, you're a young, cool person, bring your grandparents here to Watermere, you can get them in for $2,500 a month. That's the starting rate. That's not going to be that special, but it depends on how old they are. If they're really old, they're not going to know the difference. You don't need to get a suite. The place is 55 and up, so it's crazy to me to think I could move into a retirement community in 6 years. How old are you, Ed?
I'll be 55 in May.
In May, you can move into this place.
Roll in there.
That is so.
That's where I live now.
Watermere is the area's newest premier retirement community for active senior adults featuring customizable lifestyle options. That means if you're someone that's like, listen, I just want to stay in and eat Jell-O, we've got a plan for you. But if you're somebody like, listen, I just want to go out and bang every widow that's on my floor. Well, they've probably got something. They got social clubs.
There you go.
What do they got? Educational workshops, check. Social clubs, check. Even game night? Oh, I love a game night. Carl, come on, man. We're talking about a retirement community. Anyway, I'm excited that Watermere at Round Rock is now accepting old people, ages 55 and up. All right. See you next week. Tosh Show. Tosh Show.